Local governments choose Veeam for protecting their data across platforms. Their data is available whenever and wherever they need it. That's what we call data resilience. Don't just take our word for it. Hear why agencies just like yours choose Veeam, time after time.
City of New Orleans has a population of about 400,000 residents, and we have about 4,500 employees. We do include public safety, so our police department, fire department, and emergency medical services. We're a service industry city, one of the biggest tourist destinations in the nation. We have a high number of visitors to the city pre-pandemic and now post-pandemic. We have to be in a position to constantly feed information, not just to those residents, but our visitors. We have to keep them safe.
The city of Fort Lauderdale is the largest city in Broward County and 10th largest in the state of Florida. It's a coastal city, well-renowned beach, tourism, full of arts and culture.
The city of Victoria is the capital for British Columbia. We're constantly voted one of the most livable cities in North America. The services that my department supports for the city, that's everything from financial services to engineering and public works, parks and recreation, so quite a number of city departments.
Right, it's critical. We support about 900 police officers. We support about 700 firemen, the entire 911 emergency departments, and they can't afford to be down. If they're down, if there's an issue, it's a matter of life and death. So we want to be in a position at all times where we know that if in terms of a crisis, we're going to be able to take care of it.
Cyber protection and business resilience are two of the highest priorities for the city, and that's why we need a solution like Veeam to ensure that we're well protected and we can get back up and running as fast as possible. And so we have a lot of infrastructure in the background to support that, including hyper-converged infrastructure. We also have infrastructure as a service in Azure. We're also using SaaS applications, and we also provide the cyber protection for the city.
So the city of Sarasota trusts Veeam because, back in 2016, we got into a jam and our backups just weren't working. They were not working at all with other legacy products. We brought Veeam. For the first time ever, we had a stable backup environment, and then ransomware hit. Nobody knew what ransomware was, and to us, it wasn't an issue. We immediately went to restore, everything worked, and we ended up calling technical support, not for help because the restores were going too slow, and they showed us how to go faster.
So the city of New Orleans suffered a ransomware attack in late 2019, December 13th to be exact. What we found was that recovery was going to be massive, pretty extensive for us. And it was because we did a complete shutdown of our environment. The work that we did in the immediate response to the cyber attack brought the city of New Orleans to a complete halt.
Well, as a coastal city, obviously we're susceptible to hurricanes. This is why it's important, especially for coastal cities, to regard a disaster recovery just as they would a ransomware attack, because the recovery process is the same. A disaster is a disaster, whether it's a natural disaster, whether it's a man-made disaster, whether it's a terrorist disaster. And unfortunately, that is the reality for many of our local government institutions.
Our vision with data protection is 100% confidence. We need to make sure that our backup systems are simple, reliable, and efficient. And we have a combination of on-prem and cloud workloads. We're in a hybrid. We have Azure Stack HCI. We have M365. We have a number of other SaaS solutions in place. For the foreseeable future, we will be a hybrid cloud environment. The city of Victoria can't afford data loss. We're 100% confident in our backups.
The city's decision to go with Veeam for our backup and disaster recovery strategy was an easy one. We were already using Veeam in one section of the city, and the decision to modernize, centralize, and standardize really was a quick win for the city.
Being able to move into a tightly integrated platform like Veeam and Pure just made things so much easier for us. It means that we can implement new parts of our solutions, not really worry about how much storage that we're consuming or new applications as we bring them online. Everything gets backed up, everything is recoverable, and then coming up with much, much shorter recovery point in time objectives is really comforting, and it makes using our backup system that much easier. It actually makes our recovery and disaster recovery plans much easier to implement.
I mean, that's the biggest test. Veeam came through in a jam, and because of that, we have full trust. I sleep better because of Veeam.
By doing things like putting a immutable backup in place with Veeam, just now that we're working on, we're very excited about that because we're concerned about ransomware. We know that our recovery point times and our recovery time objectives are attainable. Our backup window has been reduced approximately 40%, which is huge. And that just gives a sense of comfort to us in IT and to the leaders of the city of Birmingham.
My favorite thing about Veeam has been the granularity, the ease of licensing, the simplicity of the product. It gives our staff, between the solution we had before Veeam and now, 5 to 10 hours a week back in their day. So that's time that they can spend helping our customers. Our staff were super excited about Veeam and everything that they read about it. We did a pilot before we purchased Veeam. It just works. It's 100% reliable for our team, and it gives us time back in the day. So you can't argue with that.
Understanding that data is one of the most important assets for the organization outside of human capital. I don't just want to protect the data, but I want to be able to provide a continuation of services in the event of a disaster. Having products like Veeam ensure the availability, the confidentiality, and the integrity of our data. Over the last 10 years that I've used it, it has never failed me. I would also say that the support, the culture, the technology, the user groups has been amazing. And I think I'll be a supporter of Veeam for life.
These local governments trust Veeam to protect their workloads, and you can too. Whether your data lives in the cloud, on premises, or anywhere else in between, Veeam has you covered. Our zero trust principles are baked into every backup, ensuring your data is protected and ready for recovery. Wherever your data lives, Veeam works there too. Veeam, the home of data resilience.